What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Overdose, the podcast about red pill content shown to people that's not too familiar with red pill. Now, you watched introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Morgan.
All right, hi Morgan. Now, you watched an episode already. Are you getting a much more grasp about what red pill is?
Yes.
Okay.
I understand now, but I'm not fluent, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. All right, so this video that we're about to do is called If She Can't Answer This Question, Dump Her. Any thoughts that come to your mind as soon as you hear that or no?
I'm worried I'm not going to be able to answer the question, but I'll have a boyfriend, so it's cool.
All right, well, let's jump into it.
A woman taking responsibility for her role in why a relationship ended or blaming the former partner.
A woman blaming her former partner.
I think that question is too general.
Is it kind of like blame someone else, like mentality kind of thing, or?
Yeah, just because they don't like to take the responsibility. Sometimes we're irrational, so that's why, probably.
You want to know a really quick way of uncovering a red flag and finding out if your new crush is a high quality woman, somebody who is worth pursuing? Simply ask her this question. So, what went wrong with your previous relationship? If she gives the wrong answer to this question, that is a red flag. Move on, this girl is not worth investing. The wrong answer, of course, is some variation of, it's entirely his fault. I was blameless. She might not say it in those words. She might say, my ex neglected me. He didn't appreciate me the way that I was meant to be appreciated. My ex was abusive.
Let me ask you right now. What are your thoughts?
I agree.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
definitely.
Okay.
That's a good question. Because then you can find out right then and there if they take ownership for their actions.
Gotcha.
And if they don't, good luck.
Oh.
Because that's not going to be good in the relationship in the long run.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
If you hear an answer like that, become very suspicious. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that it's impossible that she didn't have an ex who was abusive. There are lots of men out there who mistreat women. And I'm also not victim blaming. I'm not saying that it's a red flag that she used to be in an abusive relationship. That's not the issue. Very few people have a completely clean past. The red flag is her answer. You see, in saying an answer like, he was neglectful, he was abusive, she's placing all of the blame outside of herself. There's no indication of any kind of personal responsibility, and that's not really good enough. You want to know what was her role in creating that dynamic. Surely, at least part of the blame for why the relationship didn't work out must lie with her. And if she is presenting herself as a 100% pure, innocent angel who is subject to a 100% evil, malicious man, there is reason to be suspicious. Now, occasionally you will find a dynamic where it is 100% one person's fault, but that is extremely rare. By far the most common scenario is it was some of that person's fault and some of that person's fault. So if she was in a toxic relationship with her ex-boyfriend, that is not necessary.
So far, do you agree with what he's saying that if the girl doesn't show accountability, you should run for the fucking hills?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody doesn't show accountability, run for the fucking hills.
Okay.
That's a toxic trait in anybody.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Boy or girl.
Is you blaming someone else for your problems and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you just this sensitive right here.
So it's still up just a little bit. Oh, you saying the wound is still open right now?
Yeah, that's a fresh wound right there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Necessarily a problem, so long as she recognizes what part she played in creating that dynamic and demonstrates that she's able to take personal responsibility. If she completely denies that any fault lies with her, she won't take responsibility, then what is to stop her from replaying that exact same dynamic with you? When you meet a woman, you need to make sure that she's going to be worth your time, that this is a good investment. You don't have time to spend 3 months with a girl just ignoring all the red flags and avoiding all the big topics, only to find out, surprise, surprise, that she's actually a huge bitch. She's constantly complaining. She's constantly arguing with you. She's insulting you all the time. If you're a high quality man, you don't have that kind of time to waste. So have the tough conversations early. Ask her, why did your last relationship not work out? If her answer is that he was a lovely guy, but they just weren't at the right place in life or something benign like that, it's fine. Don't really need to dig that much deeper. But if she's making those claims that this was an abusive relationship, you need to probe further. You need to hear some evidence of personal responsibility so that you can make sure that the person that she was then is no longer the person that she is now. Only by seeing proof that she has actually changed can you feel safe to know that history is not going to repeat itself. If you have a dirty petri dish, then don't be surprised when it grows bacteria. Sure, you can always remove that bacteria, but unless you actually clean the petri dish out, then obviously that same bacteria is going to grow back again. Likewise, if a woman has been in a toxic relationship,
I can tell you being very, very, very quiet over there. What are your thoughts that's going through your brain right now?
I'm honestly like thinking about my own relationship because he's talking about like what he's talking about is literally why I broke up with my boyfriend, or we broke up, you know, because he would never take accountability for anything.
Okay.
And always sitting here demonizing me, and he was just this saint. And I'm like, I know I hurt you, but I want you to acknowledge that you hurt me too, so that we can apologize to each other and move on and grow from this.
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna sit here and be like, I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything. No, it's all you. You started this. It's, you know, whatever. Then where do we grow?
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
how do I apologize? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just say sorry my entire life. I'm, you know, so this is.
It's touching.
It's personal.
I told you, this is the red pill. This is the truth.
relationship, and you see no evidence that she's taken any kind of personal responsibility, she hasn't cleaned up after herself, then in all likelihood she's going to be attracted to that same toxic dynamic again and again. If she doesn't make any changes inside herself, then legitimately she cannot be surprised when it happens again. Because you see, even if you're not actively contributing to the toxicity of a relationship, you're not the one who complains, you're not the one who launches insults, you're not the one who argues, the fact that you're still in that relationship means that you do bear some responsibility for what's occurring. You have to ask, what is it inside myself that stays in this kind of dynamic? What flaw do I have? What insecurity is it that allows me to tolerate this horrible relationship? You know, it's a fool me once kind of situation. If she's been continuously dating horrible men, then she needs to ask herself, why am I attracted to this kind of guy? Or at the very least, why am I willing to put up with it? Is it because of low self-esteem? Is it because of low standards? Is it a matter of ignorance and you just need to educate yourself more on the dark psychology of humanity? So,
have you found yourself asking yourself that question?
Yes. Yes.
And what
All
are
the
your
time.
thoughts?
It's just like, you know, I've started to refine the people that I've talked to.
Okay.
And just like, if I see a red flag, I don't ignore it anymore. You know, I ignored 5 years of red flags. And now it's like, if I see something, that's it. You know, it's like, I don't have time for this. Like he said, I'm a high quality, high value person, and I don't have time.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm busy. I got things to do. I've got people to talk to. And if you're going to sit here and waste my time by not acknowledging your faults and growing from that, then I want nothing to do with you.
Okay.
You know, because if I'm going to sit here and let myself grow, water my garden, then you should be doing the same.
Same thing. Yeah. It should be both. Yeah, I agree.
but you see, if a woman comes to you and she has a story of victimhood from a previous relationship, that's not necessarily problematic. It's not like you can't show compassion, love, and care towards that person. But that doesn't mean that you don't also need to show love, care, and compassion towards yourself. And that means doing your due diligence and protecting yourself against somebody's dysfunctional psychology. You need to know that she has the emotional self-awareness to identify what it was inside herself that created that relationship dynamic. If you see evidence that she has shifted and she has taken personal responsibility, that's great. Continue on as normal. But if you ask a woman, what happened with your last relationship? Why didn't it work out with your ex? And all you get are complaints and stories of victimhood, run. If she has taken no responsibility for her own role in creating that toxic relationship, if she has no insight as to why she was attracted to him, and you see no evidence of change or growth, that's all you need to know. This is not the woman for you. As I have said many times on this channel, it is better to be alone and single than be with a low quality woman. They are more trouble than they're worth. When
This
should
goes
you
for
ask-
friends too.
Huh?
This definitely goes for friends too.
So, okay,
if you've
break
got
it
a
down.
girlfriend that, you know, there's a difference between venting about your boyfriend and complaining all day long. You know, just
What's
like,
the difference between those two?
So when you're venting, like you've had something, you've had an argument, you can
Okay.
come to me, you can tell me, oh, he's an asshole, I hate him, I want to leave him, you know, like all this stuff. Get the anger out. You know,
Okay.
say to me what you don't want to say
Say
to him,
him.
so that
Gotcha.
y'all don't, you know, there's not some
Make it
scar that
worse.
you can't
Yeah.
heal. But when you're just sitting here complaining, you know, like, oh, girl, like, it's all him all the time. It's always like this, and you know he never does this, and oh, I can't believe he never me. You know that I can't listen to that. I don't want to be friends with that because what are
Okay.
you saying about me? Is
Yeah.
it always me? Is it, you know, like
Yeah.
if we get into an argument,
Yeah.
what are you sitting here complaining about me to everybody else? Like that's just a toxic person.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I completely agree. And they don't even show accountability towards what they're doing to make that situation. It's just that person. Them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, you agree that if you ask this question to a woman, it's a very good indicator of what type of woman this person is.
Yes. I mean, you know, with the exception of like there was actually some serious abuse, like, you know,
Yeah, of
that
course,
it's
of
like,
course, yeah.
you know, I needed to leave, you know. But there's also a point where it's like I stayed for that long because I have my own problems. So still, even then, like
You
ask
wanna
this
be
question,
cognizant,
if this person was abused and comes out of it and says like, but still, I had my part to play in it. Like that's a solid person right there.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely, this is a really good question.
Okay.
Ask your next girl.
And where can they find you?
On Instagram, Mommy Sierra, MAMISIERRA.
All right. It's your boy Don Jaye. Peace.